This is NC Fro. Is reading, broadcasting from the Hilton Garden Inn in Virginia Beach. This is my last day back in Virginia, and morning starts off how I would love all of my days, or all of the days that I was actually down on the beach to start. It started out really clean and beautiful. The sun came up bright. I actually recorded a clip to commemorate or to book in this weekend. And it always happens that way. The weekend ends better than it starts, and definitely was better than the middle. Um, I went downstairs, got some great breakfast, so I'm not going to belabor this at all. I'm going to be finishing up with Nikki Giovanni today because I want to basically turn in this book on time and also discover other great authors. I think I'm going to continue to do some readings from Michelle Obama's book before I actually have to turn it back in. Um, it's just an exciting time for me. I'm taking the challenge to turn in a piece about the holidays to Many Love, a New York Times uh, section that they publish, I believe, on just online. Um, I'm hopeful that it does get picked up. Um, it is about love. It is about more of self-love and self-discovery and loving yourself as you discover yourself. So I am hopefully the only expert on that for myself anyways. Um, I discovered also about Nikki Giovanni, a lot of her earlier works were typical poetic kind of gobbledygook. It was a lot about love, and it was obvious that she was in love when she wrote some of these poems. And it's also about self-love and cultural love, etc., etc. So I think that I'm going to skip over those things because I have no reference, because I'm just learning to love myself. Um, and it would be great. One of her poems specifically was about experiencing life and how much better life is when you're in a relationship. I'm sure all that is fine and dandy, but again, it doesn't apply to me. So I'm going to skip over that poem too. What I am going to read for this selection is her winter poem, as well as Straight Talk, When I Die, and her Untitled poem. Winter poem. Once a snowflake fell on my brow, and I loved it so much I kissed it, and it was happy, and called it cousins and brothers, and a web of snow engulfed me then. I reached to love them all, and I squeezed them, and they became spring rain. And I stood perfectly still and was a flower. Straight talk. I'm giving up on language. My next book will be blank. Pages of various textures and hues I have touched in certain spots and patterns, and depending upon the mood, the reader can come with me or take me somewhere else. I smell blood a cooking, but why? I asked when she said, I'm afraid to see men cry, because I depend, she replied, on their strength. But are they any less strong for crying? Nylon stockings wear better if they wash first. Mommy said it's only potluck, but you can have some. Science teaches us matter is neither created nor destroyed, and as illogical as it is, there's nothing worthwhile but people, and Lord knows how rational we are. It'll just have a scrambled egg if it's all right. The question turns on a spelling problem. I mean, I hate to squash a roach thought about giving up meat between the shadow and the act falls the essence encore. The preceding paragraph was brought to Hugh by the letter E, in the name of Hugh humanity. An acorn to an ant is the same as a white man to the black job. Enjoyed waiting on the Lord, tell me why can't I? And I'm glad I'm smart because I know smart isn't enough. And I'm glad I'm young because you think and truth are making love. I'm glad I'm black not only because it's beautiful, because it's me and I can be dumb and old and petty and ugly and jealous, but I still need love. Your lunch today was brought to you by the Polytech branch of your local Spear Agnew Association. Hey, this is Straight Talk. Have a good day. When I die, I hope no one who ever hurt me cries. I need some coffee for this one. And if they cry, I hope their eyes fall out, and a million maggots that had made up their brains crawl from the empty holes and devour the flesh that covered in the evil that passed itself off as a person that I probably tried to love. I think this is one of her angry rants, just to think about how she was on the FBI and maybe even the CIA's hit list. They wanted her to pipe down because they knew at that time that poetry could be used as, it could be soothing and it could also uplift the people. They did not want her to use her words as a rallying cry. I think they had enough of the Black Panther movement, etc. A lot of people beating the drums, and they wanted her to use her poetry to do that. Not to do that, but they also wanted her. But Nikki Giovanni was a person just like the stubbornness of youth. She did not want, and she was not going to be what people expected. She was only going to be her. And I think this was testament to that. When I die, I hope every worker in the National Security Council, the Interpol, the FBI, ECA, Foundation for Development of Black Women gets an extra bonus and maybe takes the one day off. And maybe ask why they didn't work as hard for us as they did them. But it always seems to be that way. Please don't let them read Nikki Rasa. Maybe just let some black woman who called herself my friend go around and collect each and every book, and let some black man who said it was negative of me to want him to be a man collect every picture and poster and let them burn, throw acid on them. Shit on them as they did me while I tried to live. Hit that dead on the head, didn't I? And as soon as I die, I hope someone who loved me learns the meaning of my death, which is a simple lesson. Don't do what you do very well, and enjoy it. It scares white folks. It makes black ones truly mad. But I do hope someone tells my son his mother liked little old ladies with their blue dresses and hats and gloves that sitting by the window to watch the dawn come up is valid, that smiling at an old man and petting a dog don't detract from manhood. Do somebody please tell him I knew all along that what would be is what will be, but I wanted to be a new person. And my rebirth was stifled, not by the master, but the slave. It seems like she was thinking that her success was player hated by her own people, and she wasn't even, it wasn't not so much the white people, but I think what took her aback was how she had a lot of black detractors. And if ever I touched a life, I hope that life knows that I know that touching was and still is and will always be the true revolution. And last but not least, Untitled. One ounce of truth benefits like ripples on a pond. 1 ounce of truth benefits like a ripple on a pond. 1 ounce of truth benefits like a ripple on a pond. As things change, remember my smile. The old man said my time is getting near. The old man said my time is getting near. He looked at his dusty cracked boots to say, "Sister, my time is getting near, and when I'm gone, remember I smiled. When I'm gone, remember I smiled. I'm glad my time is getting there." The baby cried wanting some milk. The baby cried needing some milk. The baby he cried for wanting his mother kissed him gently. When I came, they sang a song. When I was born, they sang a song. When I was saved, they sang a song. Remember I smiled when I'm gone. Remember I smiled when I'm gone. Sing a good song when I'm gone. We ain't got long to stay. In the next couple of hours, I get on the road to get back to North Carolina. I'm hopeful for another new day. I'm hopeful that I'll be as inspired with just mundane things or just the routineness of things. I'm also prayerful that I'll see a new day without depression, without pain, and I will live another day to love. This is NC Fro is reading signing off. I hope you will enjoy this recording.